Most PC cases are just boxes, but this one, it's a stage. Today we're building the ultimate all AMD powerhouse inside the Cooler Master Masterframe 360 stage LCD. A case that literally puts your hardware on a pedestal. Today's build is super cool, really unique case. This is the Masterframe 360 stage LCD. We've also got the stage extension, which simply fits on like so it brings the stage out further. If you want to put figurines or anything on here, you can do so. I love the little lights that are up the top here, which you can twist around. And then on the front is an LCD screen, which you can play MP4 video, JPEGs, whatever you like, on loop to make it seem like a stage at the front. Bit of a party, right? Bit of a party. It's so cool. But we're interested in the cooling. Up the top, you can fit a 360mm radiator. Down the bottom, a 360mm radiator. However, it is big enough to double stack fans. So you can actually fit 6 fans up the top, 3 side by side, and down the bottom, but you can also fit a 360mm radiator and then a stack of fans behind it, both up the top and down the bottom. The rails are completely removable, and you can also fit up to 2 200mm fans up the top and down the bottom. This is gonna be a serious wind tunnel, and that is why there is so much lift on the bottom to allow for all of that fresh air to come in and out the top. We also have ATX motherboard support. And if you look on the inside, you'll notice that it actually comes stock with a vertical GPU mount. And yes, a PCIe 5 riser cable. I mean, let's be real, if we're setting up a stage, then we want all of our components in the spotlight as well. All panels are completely tool-free removal. Then once you get onto the inside, that's where you'll need your screwdriver. The case also comes with an anti-sag bracket for the GPU. Then at the rear, we've got loads of space. We've got some panels that are installed to hide all of the cables, but they also double up as your SSD and hard drive mounting trays. And then for the top I/O, we've got our power button. We've got 2 USB Type A, we've got a USB Type C, a headphone jack, and a reset button. But I think you truly don't get to understand the case until you build in it. So let's get started. This is the X870E Taichi OC Formula, one of ASRock's best overclocking motherboards. Now, we're not gonna be pushing for records on this motherboard, but I thought it looked pretty cool and I haven't used it yet in a build, so I wanted to give it a go. And we're gonna throw the 9950X3D in there to see how well it can push it. Now, of course, there have been known issues with some of ASRock's motherboards in relation to AMD CPUs. However, we're going to install the latest BIOS, which ASRock is saying has cleaned up a lot of these issues, but I still want to test whether there are issues or not. So if I lose a CPU, well, at least I did it and not you. Our CPU for today's system is the 9950X3D, currently the best gaming CPU in the world with 16 cores, 32 threads, also makes for a good editing CPU. So if you're doing multi-threaded workloads, even recording your gameplay at the same time and then video editing, really cool CPU. Problem is it just costs an arm and a leg. So I was lucky I had one on hand. And we're gonna be water cooling it, so maybe we can try and apply a bit of an overclock with the OCF motherboard. For our storage today, we're going with the ADATA Legend 860. It's Gen 4, so not quite Gen 5 speeds, but I don't think we need Gen 5 for today's system. I've already preloaded this with games and Windows, so it's all ready to go. And honestly, the real world difference between Gen 4 and Gen 5 in terms of, loading games and programs is not that much difference. So we saved a bit of money, especially with the rise in costs of RAM and memory in general. We've saved a bit of money. This is the EK Quantum Velocity 2 CPU block. So we're going to be water cooling the CPU, which would be great. We could try and apply a little overclock to it. Plus I love my water cooling. It's a full copper block, nickel plated. And of course we've got the plexi so we can see the color of the liquid. Two sticks because it is an OCF motherboard running at 6,000 megahertz. So straight out of the box, it will work with the motherboard. You got to remember that AMD doesn't like real high speeds like Intel. So 6,000 megahertz will be great, but we still will go for a little bit of an overclock and see what we can achieve. For our fans today, we're going with the QX120 RGB fans. Pretty much chose these because these were the only fans that I had 12 of. And if I'm populating all 6 fan slots up the top or 6 down the bottom, I really do not want 24 cables coming out of each fan. These all connect together and have one single cable coming out. So it's going to reduce cable management. It's going to make it so much easier for us. Two 360mm radiators should be enough for this system. That's 360mm per main component. So one for the CPU, one for the GPU. I was curious if 2 of these would fit side by side on the fan mounting rails. However, I think they're just a little too wide, and that's why in the diagrams, it only shows a 360mm radiator installed, and then it has a layer of fans behind it. I ended up choosing the XD5 pump res combo because we have a D5 pump for such a large case. We're gonna have a big water cooling loop inside, being a GPU and a CPU loop. And this pump res combo actually comes with a bracket where I can actually sit this on top of the fan and screw it in because the sidewall doesn't really have any mounting options. The 9070 XTX in many ways is still the best performing gaming GPU when you don't enable any ray tracing or anything. I'm just talking raw performance for AMD. Has 24 gigs of VRAM, so we're going to have plenty for video editing as well as gaming, especially up in those high resolutions and settings. Now today we're going with an AMD graphics card, so we don't need a 12-volt high-powered connector because it uses 3 8-pins. So we've got the Cooler Master MWE Gold 1250-watt power supply, which should be plenty of power for this system. Now I've got to keep in mind that I am going to need one of the PCIe connectors, maybe even 2, to power one of the Corsair IQ Link controllers. So we're pretty lucky that we have enough connectors to go around this build. Okay, now this next part that we're working on is a custom stand for the front of the stage of the case, and we actually have the perfect tool to do the job. This is our brand new Creality Falcon A1 laser cutter or engraver. Now you guys have seen our big boy machine. We've got the big boy laser cutter over there, but I figured for little jobs like what we're trying to achieve today, if I just have one of these little things going, I could actually do it on the fly rather than firing up the big boy. So you can see at the side here, this is our little air pump that puts the air in to fire the laser. We've got our emergency stop, our start button, and of course our emergency locking key at the side there. Then at the rear here, you can see we have our exhaust pipe, and because we have the Creality Falcon smoke purifier, we can actually use this indoors. It completely takes all of the toxins out of the air. It is so cool and enables us to use it inside. Now we have a front door, which is magnetized, so you can put your materials in from the front, or you could actually open it up from the top as well. I also ended up getting a metal honeycomb panel to put in here because it allows the material to breathe a bit more. So there's a bit of air underneath, which means it produces cleaner cuts. Now you can see on the top of the panel, we also have the camera there. Honestly, everything was pretty much plug and play. It took me about 5 minutes to set up the laser machine with the software on the laptop. This software is completely free and it's called Falcon Design Space. So this is the stand that I've made for our project. I've made sure to set it to line cutting, which is exactly what we need. Power is 95%, speed 100. I'm actually going to do 3 passes on each, just to make sure it cuts all the way through. And this is the design I made, which I actually imported from a DXF file that I made using my Adobe software. You can see it's already cutting there. Look how slow it's going. That's gonna take a little bit of time, but it is working. It has to go extra slow because this unit is 10 watts, but that looks like a really nice focused line in there. So it's gonna be a nice clean cut. And the best part is I don't smell any of that burnt acrylic smell that you would normally smell with my other laser cutter. This purifier's working well. So I haven't fully calibrated the camera yet, but you get an idea. So when you take a photo, you can actually see where your workpiece is on the work area, so you can position your work accordingly. That's actually really helpful, and it stops you from producing so much waste material. Amelia, my wife, also purchased a few bottles that she wants to do laser engraving on. That is a lot more bottles than I thought. Amelia. So we've actually got the Creality Falcon rotary kit, which will allow us to actually have the bottle on rotation, because when you're focusing a laser, if it's not rotating the correct way, you could actually warp the design on a curved surface. So this is going to come in really handy, and I can't wait to actually play around with this. All right, it's all finished. Let's put it together. Check it out, guys. It's a banana holder. Guys, if you're interested in learning more about their Creality Falcon A1, I'll leave a link in the video description. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora 4K Ultra settings. Let's see what the 7900 XTX can do. Man, check out that tree. That thing is incredible. What is that? That thing has tentacles that are moving. And there's the home tree. That is one huge, huge tree. Wow. All those floating islands as well. GPU's sitting at 44 degrees, CPU at 73 degrees, and we're getting about 64 FPS while recording as well, so it's not too bad. Doing the Dark Ages 4K Ultra Nightmare mode. Let's go. Oh, got him, let's go. Yeah, got him again, let's go. Come on. 64 FPS, guys. GPU 44 degrees, CPU 71. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking and subscribing, and leave a comment down below. What is your favorite feature about this case? And if you enjoyed this build, then we've got another weird case that we did a build in recently. You can check that video out here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.